But one thing that I think it's important to keep in mind is that there is a project which I've been aware of now for quite a long time, and it came to mind this week, called Project Bluebeam, which is to give the impression that there is an alien invasion at some point, a quote alien invasion, which actually will be a fake invasion. But what it will do, and what it's aimed to do, is to justify massive centralization of military and political power to meet the threat from beyond. And one of the elements of Bluebeam that I came across years and years ago was that at some point there would be a complete change of emphasis in terms of the mainstream view of extraterrestrial activity and UFO activity, and suddenly it would be in the public arena, not as, they believe in little green men, but actually promoted in a credible way as part of the build up to this. Well, we couldn't tell you before because we didn't want to start mad panic, but yes, that there is a threat to the planet. And of course, if you want global problems through which you can promote global solutions, then a threat to the whole planet, global warming, global terrorism, global threat from an extraterrestrial source, these are all potential global problems that can lead to you introducing your global solutions, which is the structure that we've been talking about this evening.
Okay, next up, let's go to our East of the Rockies line. You're on with David Icke. Hi there.
Hi there.
Go ahead.
Gary in Roanoke, Virginia.
Hello, Gary.
Yeah, hi. I've been listening to you talk off and on during the night. I'm a security officer and, work earlier. But with unlimited funds that these families you've talked about having, and no compunction, with the power to use presidents and vice presidents as front men, and a complete control of the media, the conventional media, how is it they haven't detected you and eliminated you before you ever got to the notice of something like Coast to Coast?
Well, we talked about that earlier. First of all, we need to be a little bit more positive about our own power than, you start talking about this and they take you out. If that's the only power we have, then we might as well not even start. But in the early 1990s, a quick reprise, from about 1990, 91 onwards, right through the 90s, I was subjected to enormous ridicule in Britain, to the point where I was like the crazy man of Britain, and it was just incessant ridicule. Now, for me to start talking about that stuff, this stuff then, would have been good for these people in a sense, because they associate, well, if he's talking about it, everyone will think it's crazy. But the passage of events in daily experience, particularly since 9/11, that were all in my books before, that this was coming and this is how it was going to go, is completely changing people's perception of me and what I'm saying. And at the same time, all my books are out there now. I'm well known for what I do, and to do anything to me now, physically or obviously, would just give what I'm doing tremendous credibility. So it's not in their interest to do that.
They're trapped now.
And they won't do that anyway. They can't do that anyway. I can't tell you how I know, and it's not important, but they cannot stop me doing what I'm doing. They can make it more difficult. They can make it more challenging. They can put blocks in the way that I have to overcome, and they've done that so many times. But actually, ultimately, stop what I'm doing, they can't do it. And they need to understand that, because, they could do more with their lives and try to stop me, because it's a waste of time.
Let's go to our first-time caller line. You're on the air with David Icke on Coast to Coast. Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
We are well, thanks.
Good. George, I just want to tell you I've listened to you for the last year or so, and I've gained so much unknown knowledge. And I just have one question for David.
Sure thing.
Where does God fit into all of this?
Well, it's a good question. What is God? And we have been divided and ruled so many times, and right to the present day, by different belief systems on what constitutes God. And I think what we need to do is just take a deep breath, sit down and relax, and be at peace with different people having different perceptions of what the great forever is, and how we symbolize it and how we perceive it. My perception of it is that it is one infinite consciousness, which is what you might call infinite love. And everything that manifests comes from the imagination of that one infinite consciousness. And sometimes that becomes imbalanced because of certain things, and we have challenging situations. But we are all an expression of that one infinite, all-knowing, all-wise consciousness. And what religions tend to do is to put us apart from that consciousness. Like we have to look up to God, and God is apart from us, when actually we are all part of that one infinite consciousness. And when you see things, even in biblical texts where they talk about God being everywhere, well, yes, because it's infinite consciousness, not only is it everywhere, it is everything. That's the way I see it. And what we've done is got so focused, so much self-identifying with the body, the vehicle to experience this reality, that we have forgotten that we are all that is. We are an expression of that, if you like, God, that infinite consciousness. And when we lose that understanding that we are that infinite consciousness, that's when we get into trouble, because we start identifying with the small instead of the all. And that's when we get into the little game mentality that leads to conflict and war and I'm right and you're wrong and all this stupidity and this race and that race. It's all so stupid. Racism is the ultimate stupidity, because it's the same consciousness arguing about which one is most superior. It's absolutely ludicrous. And it's losing this understanding that we are this infinite consciousness and identifying with the little mentality of the body vehicle. That's what's got us into trouble. And when we reverse that, then the trouble will disappear.
Hey, tell us your story about your contact with the spirit world, David.
Well, I was a guy in the 1980s working for the BBC as an anchorman, and I was a national spokesman for the British Green Party, and then amazing things just started to happen to me. Towards the end of the 80s, I suddenly had this feeling that when I was in a room alone, I was not alone. There was something else there. And it went on for months and months and months, and it got more and more tangible, until eventually I sat on the edge of a bed in a hotel in London one night and said, look, for goodness sake, if there's something there, would you please contact me, because you'll drive me up the wall. A few days later, I came across a psychic. It's a long story, I'll keep it short, who had no idea about all this, and starts telling me that some entity is communicating with her and saying that I'm going out on a world stage to reveal enormous secrets, and there was a great spiritual transformation about to unfold on the earth, and that shadows were going to be lifted, and what had remained hidden was coming to attention, and that I was going to play a part in this, and that the time would come when I'd be world famous doing this, and I would face enormous opposition, but, quote, they would always be there to protect me. And then it led me eventually to, a long story again, a mound in Peru, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a little stone circle. And amazing things happened there, and extraordinary things happened there, which basically blew my mind. And after a period of 3 months in which I didn't know what planet I was on, everything morphed back into clarity, and I was looking through the same eyes, but I saw the world in a completely different way. And from that moment, this amazing synchronicity of events and people and, quote, coincidences started happening, that was handing me the pieces in the puzzle almost in the order that I needed to most quickly understand how they fitted together.